Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Game Changer. I'm Mariam Zia. In today's program, we will be talking about the captivating relation between Pakistan and Switzerland. Of course, when we talk about Pakistan's relations with Switzerland, there are a number of areas in which both countries have collaborated and cooperated. We will be talking about these areas, trade and investment opportunities between the two countries. And we also know the latest development that the Swiss foreign minister visited Pakistan recently on the invitation of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, and this was a visit by any Swiss foreign minister after a gap of 17 years. So that was also an important development. We'll be talking about different MOUs that were discussed in this important visit. We also know that when we talk about Switzerland, of course, this is an important foreign direct investor in Pakistan. We will be talking about different opportunities and untapped areas that can be explored between the two countries. To discuss this and more, we are joined in the studios by Mr. Hanan Hussain, who is expert in international affairs. Welcome to the program. We are also joined by Brigadier Hamid Malik, who is expert in international affairs. Welcome to the program. And we're joined online by Dr. Hasnain Javed, who is economist and expert in international affairs. Welcome to the program. So, Mr. Hanan, let me start with you. Of course, this was an important development when the Swiss foreign minister visited Pakistan. But let's talk about a bit evolution of the relations between the two countries. How do you see that the diplomatic as well as the political relations between Pakistan and the Swiss Confederation have evolved over the past 60 years?
Yeah, so thank you, Mariam. So the evolution can be seen across many decades, as we've seen. These countries have also been holding very close political dialogues. So I'd point to November 2021 when they held their 11th round. And even then, the answer from the Swiss side was that the economic dimensions of these ties is going to be central to how countries work together. We do see that Switzerland has been able to put its symbolism for Pakistan into practice when it has come to dealing with key crises. So, for example, we've seen two particular instances of natural disasters kind of rattling Pakistan, and Switzerland's support through coordinated political dialogue with Pakistan was pretty much pronounced. So yes, the relations have evolved from steady diplomatic relations to greater inroads towards the economy side, and with the present visit we do see a greater desire to advance that sense of cooperation towards humanitarian and disaster management fronts.
Of course, and when we talk about this important visit, disaster risk management as well as the climate change were some of the key areas in which cooperation between the two countries were discussed. Can you tell us about some of the MOUs that were signed in this visit?
Yeah, so broadly the theme which captures is climate change. We do know that Pakistan, through an MOU, would basically want greater focus on having advanced early weather systems for Pakistan, so that it can detect these catastrophes beforehand and then use that to go forward. So I think the current range of MOUs is basically focused on this convergence, this agreement between both sides that climate can serve as a gateway towards more opportunities going forward. We do see that from the technical and the technological front, should these advanced weather systems reach Pakistan, it will advance Pakistan's fight and then limit the kind of adverse exposure that we have from climate going forward. And I think based on that, there's also been a broader sense that should we kind of build on this political dialogue, build on senior visits, that Pakistan and Switzerland can also get a greater sense of investor sentiment on both sides. We do see that the trade has been steadily evolving, but there's a lot of room for Pakistan to kind of, dial up its exports and also make sure that it is responding to market needs in Switzerland.
Of course, we will be talking about trade and economic relations, and of course you are very right that there is an increasing trend of the trade volume between the two countries. That is, even in last 5 years there is an increase of 7.5% of the trade volume between the two countries. But let's talk about this climate change. Of course, this is very important for Pakistan as well. Do you think that Switzerland has supported Pakistan in some of the policies when we talk about disaster risk management?
I think Switzerland not has only supported but has also offered the technical support to assist Pakistan and also to transform the National Disaster Management Authority into the international standards. And I think the technical collaboration coming from the Switzerland, and also as highlighted by our colleague Hanan, that Pakistan wants there should be forecasting system for the natural calamities, and also this is going to sharpen our responses and will also lead us for the focused rehabilitation of the disaster hit areas. And in that case, the Swiss government has not only supported Pakistan as far as the policy making is concerned and technological support is concerned, but in the past they have been forthcoming and very proactive to providing Pakistan with the financial support also and humanitarian support also. If we talk of these floods in 2010
yes.
and in the recent year also, they have been very forthcoming. And I think this visit of the Foreign Minister of Switzerland is of paramount importance, because it is the high level visit taking place after 17 years.
Of course.
And you are also highlighted that how are our relations. Earlier it was more based on the commercial interest between the two countries, and our bilateral trade also shows that the growth is not that phenomenal, but the potential is much more than that.
Of course, potential is huge. We will be talking about trade, but when we talk about climate change and building systems that are resilient to disaster risk, what do you think, what kind of knowledge sharing is needed in Pakistan, and are there some ongoing initiatives or projects between the two countries when we talk about the recent developments?
If we talk of the projects which are already had, first is the forecasting of the natural disaster. In that, the technical expertise, the radars which are required, the gadgets which are required, Pakistan is asking for that technical expertise and also asking for the faculty of that rescue members and as far as the staff of the NDMA, so that they have that not only the gadget but training and technical expertise, so that they can use it for the benefit of the flood hit areas or any other area. And we also should know that Pakistan is among those 40 countries which are vulnerable to the climate change in next 2-3 years. And as our Minister Shari Rahman has also highlighted, that Pakistan is not only badly hit, but it doesn't have that much of resources, so that it can bring its people
is also required
from that disaster. So in that case, the planning will be the key element in which the Swiss government can come and help us and guide us, that how should we plan, that if there is any disaster, what should be the our efforts, not only for rehabilitation but also for response. Because first thing is the response, how we going to respond for that. And they are also going to also mitigate certain carbon emission. Pakistan is not among those countries which is liable for that, but Pakistan is victim of that. So in that case also, it is not only the expertise which they are going to share, but they are also going to support Pakistan into the international community, so that the international community also knows what hazards are being faced by Pakistan as far as climate change is concerned.
Of course, and that is very important as well. Dr. Sain, when we talk about the recent visit of a Swiss foreign minister to Pakistan, how do you see this important development and the MOUs that were signed in this high-level delegation visit?
So as this visit, if I talk about the specific visit, it is after the 17 years, which is very much important, because the trade was being done between the two countries. But historically, if I look at the history, the two countries have signed a number of economic treaties that have aided the development of the bilateral commerce. Switzerland and Pakistan have multiple bilateral agreements covering the wide range of topics such as investment production, debt consolidation, aviation, double taxation, and exchange of the financial account information. So Switzerland also has an ongoing political conversation with Pakistan. The 11th round of the discussion was conducted in Islamabad in 2021. So in these, the recent visit on 9 January 2023, the most of the time in Islamabad, the federal consular cases met with the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, the Minister of Climate Change, Ms. Shari Rahman. They have agreed upon so many memorandum of understanding. He has also visited the National Disaster Management Authority in Islamabad, and then he has also a document between the two countries will also approve a milestone in bringing national disaster management at par with the international standard under the vision of the Prime Minister. And also,
of course, Brigadier Hamid has also highlighted that. But let's move towards the economic ties between the two countries. We know that Switzerland has been an important trading partner or economic partner for Pakistan. So what is the current trade volume between the two countries, and what is the level of imports and exports between the two countries?
See, most of the time, I mean, if I talk about the Switzerland has always been atop of the 7 foreign direct investment. I'll talk about the foreign direct investment before it is very much needed to talk about the total trade number or total trade export. So Switzerland export is moreover, it is about the 429 million to Pakistan. So the main product of the Switzerland exported to Pakistan are the packaged and the medicament is 155 million, vaccines, blood, anesthesia, toxins, and other things is about the 46.4 million, and base metal watches, which is about 25 million. So in total, during the last 26 years of the export of the Switzerland to Pakistan have increased at annual rate of 2.95, which is from 202 million in 1995 from 429 million in 2021, which is a big, jump. And I would like to tell you that it is the fifth. Switzerland is the fifth largest in the foreign direct investment. It is very much important part. But the Pakistan export to in that way is a specific product in Pakistan exported is 254 million to Switzerland. So the main product that Pakistan exported to Switzerland were non-net man suits, house linen, and the net sweaters. So there are so many other things during the 2026, but the Swiss Business Council have established so many things. It's like establishment of the in 2008 in Karachi. The Swiss Business Council CBC unit, 53 companies operated in Pakistan either as a local subsidiary or the partner of the Swiss company. And together with the Switzerland Global Enterprise SGE, S-SGE, which is umbrella organization in the Switzerland to promote the export of the Swiss SME and SBC aim to improve trade and business linkages between the two countries. So SBCs
Right.
also facilitate fact-finding missions of Swiss SMEs to visit Pakistan to explore the potential of the investment and trade.
Of
And,
course, of course.
this
And
gap
talking about
must
this
be
potential, Dr. Snen, when we talk about this potential, are there any avenues where there is room for diversification of the traded products between the two countries?
Yes, I mean, like as the Swiss investment in Pakistan, as I told you, over the past 10 years, the Switzerland has been one of the top 5 foreign direct investors in Pakistan, and Switzerland ranked 5th in the term of foreign direct investment in Pakistan. The investment by the Swiss companies in Pakistan have expected to USD 1 billion. I'm telling you, 1 billion. So it could, go up to 23 major Swiss companies are present in Pakistan, already working in Pakistan and employing around 15,000 people. So it can increase. There is a huge potential to increase this up to the 100 million or more than that. So most of these companies are located in Karachi and Lahore. So Swiss-based multinational companies have invested $1.2 billion in Pakistan in a various sectors, including the processing, pharmaceutical, chemical, machinery, engineering, banking, and providing job overall in the enterprise. But the most important thing is the companies of the business potential available in Pakistan and process them managed to introduce the footprints of the 11 Swiss companies in Pakistan. And as I told you about the SBC role in
Of course,
the
of course.
Pakistan business, so it should be maximized in a better way.
When we talk about these important developments, there is a lot of potential in various sectors. Of course, given the expertise of Switzerland in sectors like pharmaceuticals and financial services, how do you see that both countries can collaborate in these sectors?
So I think a very important starting point would be to facilitate delegations that are focused on feasibility studies over markets. So Switzerland is highly integrated within the European Union. There's going to be a lot of competition in many other fields also. But I think, as Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif pointed out, sectors including IT would be critical areas of focus. So I think when you bring in feasibility delegations and get an early sense of what that market has, Pakistan will have requisite knowledge about where it fits within that market. And that will kind of limit the burden on Pakistan's side as well, because the entire, I'd say, focus and the entire purpose of B2B and G2G facilitation is to understand how you could have a targeted approach towards specific sectors. So yes, I think Pakistan's growth resilience in terms of technology, the tech sector, telecommunication as well, and also to kind of build on pharmaceuticals and existing would require us to get a multi-year sense of how the Swiss market has evolved, what investors are looking for, and how Pakistan can develop a competitive edge based on technical expertise from the Swiss.
Of course. So has there been any collaboration between the two countries when we talk about research and development? Of course, like Mr. Hanan mentioned about the knowledge sharing between the two countries, and there is need for research and development. So are there some collaborations or joint ventures going on in that regard?
At present, they are not very prominent joint ventures. If we talk of that, both countries, they are moving in a collaborative stance. Our technological expertise is concerned, sharing of that. But if we see the higher education, how they are going to encourage our students to come to their universities and learn the techniques, and they can fall back and then contribute to the society. And secondly, as far as agriculture is concerned, yes, they are very open to give us the machinery which is required. They are also very open to share the technology for the food processing also. And I think these are the two sectors in agriculture. Like yesterday, we had a seminar in Lahore in which Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and Army Chief General Syed Asim Munir, they participated, and they are moving towards the greener Pakistan. And this is that sector where we can also get lot of help from the Switzerland also. And already these Swiss companies working in Pakistan, and here I would like to highlight the role of Swiss Business Council. It is acting as a conduit between the Swiss businessman and the Pakistani market. And I think if this sector is highlighted to the Swiss businessman, so they will be forthcoming and joining us, because it has got a lot of potential for growth, not only for Pakistan, but because Pakistan export to Switzerland mainly consist of textile and the agriculture. So this is
so
that
what
sector.
have been the challenges because that has caused this low trade volume between the two countries? Of course, we have seen that there has been an increasing trend of the trade volume, but what has been the hurdles and how to address those challenges?
I think earlier we have talked about the implementation of certain policies by the government and establishment of the special investment facilitation council, that is to eradicate the bureaucratic hurdles. And if we talk in one sentence, it is the eradication of these bureaucratic hurdles which are going to give boost to the bilateral trade. And I think now the present government and all setup is geared up to facilitate the investment pouring into the Pakistan, either it is in agriculture or in any other. And as already highlighted by Mr. Hanan, that pharmaceutical is one sector, IT is one sector, then tourism. Because Switzerland in Central Europe is famous for its tourism industry.
Of course.
And Pakistan has also a lot of potential and areas which are almost similar to the Switzerland. And if Pakistan gets expertise from them, collaborates with them, so it is going to give a lot of boost to Pakistan tourism industry and hospitality industry.
Of course, there's a lot of potential
also.
when we talk about tourism and people-to-people contacts between the two countries as well. But let's talk about research and development, because we keep on talking about different sectors. But are there some joint ventures going on when we talk specifically about research and development between the two countries? And what are the areas in which you see potential?
So I think when we talk about research and development, there's an industrial side to it, and then there's also the people-to-people exchanges. So when we talk about strictly academic and research-oriented, I think the Swiss scholarships, which are announced and have a lot of regional competition going into it, Pakistani, the focus should be to accelerate Pakistan's intakes and also do that. I mean, you have examples from Pakistan's relationship with the United States. Pakistan is home to one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Fulbright Association and alumni coming in. How has that happened? It has happened based on a much stronger presence academically between both sides, and for missions to kind of amplify their outreach towards specific institutions. So I think building stronger higher education partnerships between existing academic institutions in Pakistan and connecting them with their Swiss counterparts is something that's going to lead to an enduring and a long-term exercise in research and development. When we talk about industrial linkages, I think when we've talked about the Business Council, for example, that can serve as a good platform to bring together expectations about how markets are evolving. For example, Switzerland was not immune for example, to some of the challenges that we've seen geopolitically coming out of Eastern Europe? And at the same time, how has that been impacting market sentiment? Are there new sectors that are coming up? All these big questions can be answered through a business council, which encourages research, but this time based on industrial sentiment.
Of course, and academia industrial linkages are also very important when we talk about bilateral or multilateral ties as well. We're talking about Pakistan's evolving ties with Switzerland. We will be taking a short break here. We are talking about Pakistan-Swiss relations, and when we talk about Pakistan's relations with Switzerland, of course, there's a number of areas specifically about the development cooperation in which Switzerland has helped Pakistan. Dr. Stan, what are some of the key areas specifically when we talk about development cooperation where Switzerland has helped Pakistan, and how it has boosted Pakistan's socio-economic development?
See, many areas, like for example, most of the important area, which is education, you just talk about, because in the education, there are a number of scholarship and research program has been given by the Switzerland government. This is one aspect. And second is that there is many other thing, which is about the multinational companies and many other Swiss brand and they're in Pakistan, but it is about the imports. What we are looking for, their plants and their industry convert to Pakistan in a directional way. So this would be just not the bilateral, it would be the multilateral in a different way. So of course, we are using the Swiss products, and we are using a different area which gives them a good imports, but on the trade balance, our export is, as I initially told you about that, it was recent, comparatively lesser than that. But of course, the research and developmental area is higher than that area, but we have to target on what areas. The most important area is textile. We have to work on the research base within the textile sector, on the quality assurance, upon the Six Sigma and the standard of the highest standard of the quality insurance. And then it would be, I'm telling you, as well as the multinational company by the Switzerland, it is about the 6,000 and more than 6,000 plus, related to textile. And also the leather industry is still not been promoted in that way. And we need to have the much transparent industry by the help of the Switzerland. We can have we can export and we can manufacture the best leather of the world. We are producer of the raw material for the leather, but preservance and the procedural development and the procedural element or the making process of the leather is not that of the on the international standard. So for that reason, Australia has taken much of our leather to the Australia and then treated on their tanneries, and then they have advanced to the leather industry. So why not we exploit this area in a better way? So
of course, there's a lot of potential when we talk about leather industry, textile as well. But we also know, Dr. Sen, that Switzerland is known for its advanced technology and innovation as well. So how do you see the potential for cooperation in IT?
It is very well, of course. Their innovation is for their innovation. First we have to develop our own base network. It is not about that. For example, Elon Musk is, way too high on the Tesla. We cannot get the plant of the Tesla. We cannot get the energy. Electric cars over there in Pakistan. We don't have the electricity even. Then how can we go for the energy? Electric cars for Pakistan. First, we have to develop our own sector. IT sector must have the zero rating, must have the complete holiday, and then we have to develop on our own capacity, as per our own capacity, what is required for them. We can make an arrangement of the third party arrangement. There is so many internet based or IT based or
Startups, of
virtual
course.
reality based agreement, then we can give a help to the Switzerland. Of course, they are good in that, but that innovation cannot work in Pakistan. Of course, we can just have the as a standard. We can read them as a standard, but we cannot apply on a recent basis. So
Of
in
course.
that case, we must have to understand that our policies arrangement under the I always integrate this point as a business consular. We don't have the trade consulars over there in Pakistan. So
Of course.
maximum areas over there in IT, leather, textile, whatsoever, or even in the automobile, we have to have the commercial consular under the ambassadorship. We don't need a people-to-people contact ambassador. We don't need a happy ambassador. We don't need a sad ambassador. We need to have economic relations, an economic pivot-based relationship. Then
Right.
that is the only
Right.
way out to have a relationship on this way.
Right, right. Dr. Zain, point well taken. So let's take this discussion to the studios. Mr. Hanan, when we talk about Switzerland, of course, we know that Switzerland has also a well-established startup ecosystem as well. So what do you think, what are the lessons that Pakistan can learn from this well-established ecosystem? Because, of course, we know that there is a huge potential. More than 64% of Pakistan's population is under the age of 30. So that is something that we can work on. But what are some of the lessons we can learn from Swiss Confederation?
Two key lessons. First, state support for small and medium-sized enterprises has to be extremely consistent. I think we've seen very positive signals come out from the current Shehbaz Sharif leadership under Prime Minister, and that has been focused primarily on getting visibility to these enterprises, because it's not a one-year exercise. It has to go on for about 5 to 10 years. And when state support for small to medium-sized enterprise is pronounced, that's when you get to engage a lot of the youth coming in. Secondly, I think the single window operation, which was being talked about for investment, I think could potentially be a long-term game changer for Switzerland and Pakistan's ties, because that particular one window operation, by definition, is designed to work around bureaucratic hurdles and say, okay, if the Swiss executives or the Swiss multinational companies look to expand or want more investment coming into Pakistan, where do they go? There's a clear signal about where they have to go. So I think, to answer your question, small and medium-sized enterprises in Pakistan, in order to advance that startup culture in Pakistan, you would basically need long-term, I'd say, state support. And based on that support, you'll be able to attract best practices from Switzerland based on research and industrial linkages, partnership that we talked about, as in how do they scale this small and medium-sized support long-term. How has Switzerland done it? I think academic and industrial linkages there, along with the one window operation for investment, would create a nice little ecosystem to give visibility.
And do you think there is room for Swiss IT companies to come and invest in Pakistan? What needs to be done to create an conducive environment for that?
I think in terms of them investing, look, it'll be important to get a pulse of what their expectations are. For example, IT is an extremely competitive field. Pakistan has made progress, but has been humble in terms of the technological expertise coming in. So I think a more pragmatic approach is to have a starting point. For example, within the tech sector, you will see key startups that are focused on addressing problems that may have traction in Switzerland. What are those startups? What do they look like? How is the potential for growth? All that under a single window operation for investment can bring in Swiss delegations, bring those Pakistani entrepreneurs together in that space, and then understand how to do it. Pakistan has a big telecommunication giants as well, many of the companies that have endured long term. So I think commercial linkages on that front is also going to play a key role.
Of course. And when we talk about these bilateral ties, there are a number of sectors in which there is potential. So let's talk about renewable energy resources, because of course we know that Switzerland has also done a lot when we talk about renewable energy resources. So are there some initiatives going on, or would you suggest that these kinds of initiatives should be taken to address Pakistan's energy need, and where Swiss Confederation can help Pakistan?
I think this is a sector for future development between the two countries and bilateral, I think, interest. Pakistan has taken a very modest start. If we talk of wind energy, near Karachi they have established, and then also for the solar. But this
and
is
hydroelectric power is also something that.
But hydroelectric, we say it is conventional and outdated now. These are two sectors which are known as renewable, and they are very eco-friendly. And Switzerland is also famous for wind energy, which they are producing. So this is a sector in which Pakistan can get lot of expertise from them, and this is a source which is very eco-friendly, doesn't provide any carbon emissions, and in that way the world will be also assisting Pakistan to get this technology. And second aspect, renewable energy, is that Pakistan should also focus that how small and medium enterprises can be brought into that, because that is the sector, apart from the public, the private sector needs to be more vibrant. Like the Swiss government, they have established a business council here, and also highlighted by one of our panelists that Pakistan need to have commercial attaché there in Sweden, in Switzerland, so that it can get all help from them, and at the same time can also showcase. If you talk of IT earlier, it is not only that we ask them to come and invest Pakistan, we have a lot of potential.
Of course.
We have a lot of startups in the IT, and they also need to be showcased, and also being part of the European Union. If Pakistan get in collaboration with the Switzerland or Swiss government, Pakistan will can also get lot of potential in the European market also. And as we have a very booming sector of IT, and we have a lot of freelance people working in the IT, so that is also from renewable energy. I think IT has more potential and more wide range of cooperation between the two countries.
Of course, IT has a lot of potential, but Dr. Sen, when we talk about energy cooperation between the two countries, what kind of policies or regulatory frameworks will be required of collaborating in the energy sector between Pakistan and Switzerland?
As Switzerland is too good in coal, and they have the potential, and they have the capability, and they know how to develop a more powerful structure over there in, under the coal power project. So we have 720 trillion ton of the coal. Well, how can we produce energy? And I slightly humbly differ from the perspective that hydro is one of the powerful source of energy. And then after that, then we can go for the alternative energy, which can be the coal, which can be the wind energy, which can be the solar power energy. But nothing is parallel to the hydropower project. So we are working on the hydropower projects, but what we can coordinate in having the joint venture with the technologies, like for example in the coal power project, so they can help us in the coal power projects in a much more better way. So this is very much important part. And along with that, we produce and we get the much of the coal from the Venezuela. So in that area, they are importing. Why not we can produce our much of the industry over there in Pakistan? So. And the second part I would like to add on, and if you allow me, then the companies to business potential available in Pakistan, and the process managed to introduce the footprints of the 11 Swiss companies in Pakistan. So SBEC, the Switzerland Global Enterprise, SGE, work together to mobilize interests of the Swiss companies. And then there is a joint venture agency agreement and technology transfer cooperation in a short span of 8 years after the partnership with SGE in 2014. So these are the much more potential area we can work on, and it is have to better approach that we need to work from, as much as we can have to by the Switzerland.
Right. So, Mr. Hanan, when we talk about, of course, connectivity and multilateral cooperation, Switzerland is important, a member of EU as well. So, how do you see this potential for Pakistan to use Switzerland to get into larger European markets?
So I think on that front, Pakistan's key engagements with the European Union can also draw focus towards Switzerland and then create this little, I'd say, ecosystem where Pakistan engage on both fronts. So I point to, for example, the preferential tariffs and the treatment under the EU GSP+.
Of course.
That has been a major indication that by negotiating on key terms that are suitable to Pakistan's trade, countries can break ground. So I think I would look for follow-up engagements on the current foreign minister's visit and see how this particular diplomatic symbolism plays out between businesses and investments. And should we see some growth over there, that naturally could allow Pakistan to tap into the larger European market. I'd like to point out over here that one of the reasons why Switzerland and Pakistan's relationship has endured is because a stable Pakistan has been in Switzerland's interest. We look to the G20-backed debt service suspension initiative, Switzerland was able to kind of delay the extension of repayment for Pakistan around more than 9 million in loans, and that's something which Pakistan's strong economic and political partners have done. Saudi Arabia just registered 2 billion in Pakistan's state bank reserves as well. So I think when you look at how seriously Switzerland takes Pakistan's economic compulsions, I think Pakistan can also reciprocate the kind of expectations on the Swiss side by looking for greater ways to kind of build on its own engagement with the European Union on GSP Plus, and see how Switzerland and Pakistan can come up with greater enablers for smooth trade and growth in the future.
Of course, and when we talk about different areas of cooperation, vocational training and skills development is also an important segment in which both countries can collaborate. So are there some initiatives in which Switzerland helped in development of curriculum or different skills developments in Pakistan, or how do you see, what would you suggest that both countries can collaborate in this particular area?
I think the memorandum of understanding signed between Swiss government and Pakistani government, and in which basically the focus was disaster management, but the sub parts of it was also not transfer of technology as gadgets, and second aspect was the skillful development of our workforce. And I think the higher education cooperation between the two countries is also leading toward this skill, because all those people who will be trained in by the Swiss government are fall back and going to contribute to Pakistan. This is and third aspect is we have to establish certain technological vocational training institute where Swiss government can come and help us also. And I think that is the gray area which we should also focus on that, and also try to establish more vocational institutions than the general universities and colleges which we are going to have now. And also at that point I would like to highlight that another aspect of this cooperation is the diplomatic support which we can get from the Swiss government, because being part of the European Union, and during the signing of that memorandum of understanding, the keynote address by the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif is thing of very significance, because he highlighted that we need to focus our resources for the poverty alleviation, for the development of the country, for education of our masses, and we don't want any tension in the region. And I think this is very clear message, a clear message of our stance, our focus, our interest, and also that we want that the Kashmir issue should be resolved peacefully. In that, he also highlighted that the Swiss government can play a very catalytic role. And this is the message which should be given across to the European Union and to the globe also, that when we are free of our regional issues, we free of our hurdles, we can focus on the development of the nation. And when we are going for the development of the nation, development masses, all that skill development, everything will come in force and will support us.
Of course, and this national development will be translating into regional development and prosperity as well. Lastly, Dr. Stan, how do you see the future prospects of relations between Pakistan and Switzerland, and what are some of the areas? Of course, climate change, climate resilience is important, but some of the areas where do you see potential in the future?
So, in optics to have the, recent development and recent memorandum of understanding between the Pakistan and the Switzerland, so I would see the disaster management would be the vital step, and that would promote the cooperation between the two countries to harness the technology and expertise in a future to tackle the natural catastrophe jointly. So this is very much important. And then I am very much positive in a way that the both countries will promote the progress and prosperity, eradicate unemployment in Pakistan, of course, poverty, enhancement in education, IT, industry, women empowerment, and agriculture for all well-being of the people. So speaking, as the Switzerland, cases the foreign minister, talking about the two countries was vital for the collaboration against the calamity. I'm looking forward for the development of the calamity, which is we are the victim of the biggest victim, we can say, that we have to develop that. And then I'm looking for the ecotourism and development related to infrastructure using the G2G and B2B channels, which is very much important. And I'm looking forward for the best of the best cooperation. And also I want warmly welcome for the collaboration in the carbon market and the exploration of the disaster management. How can we deal with the disaster management in deal with the Switzerland?
Of course. Thank you very much, Dr. Hussain Javed, for joining us in today's program. Thank you very much, Mr. Hannan Hussain, for joining us in today's program. Thank you very much, Brigadier Hamid Malik, for joining us in today's program. Of course, in today's program, we talked about collaboration between Pakistan and Switzerland in different sectors. There is a lot of potential when we talk about economic ties between the two countries. But after the recent visit, of course, of Swiss foreign minister to Pakistan, there has been commitment on collaborating specifically regarding the climate change and building climate resilience. And of course, this is a tangible commitment not only for a resilient Pakistan, but for a resilient world as well. That's all from Game Changer tonight. Take care. Allah Hafiz.